Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise and this reading is for Sunday, December 13th, 2020. But as always, it will be, or at least my intention will be, to have a timeless message come through to help us heal our souls and come back home to who we truly are. And as usual, I'm using the Light Seers Tarot by Chris-Anne. And I'm going to draw three cards to see what it is that we need to know. Oh, we have the Moon, Page of Cups reversed, and the Hermit reversed. Okay. So with the Page of Cups reversed, that's our theme for the day, or for the message. And the message there has to do with, oh my goodness, hold on, I've lost my, oh, here we go. I've lost my chopstick. Must have the excuse me, cherished chopstick and the sacred chopstick. Okay, so with the Page of Cups reversed, well, that can have us in that realm where we're a little hypersensitive. Sometimes it's that. Other times it's a creative block, because of course, you can see when this card is straight up. It's the card of, Chris-Anne calls it the let's make pigs fly. Well, of course, in real life we can't, but graphic arts can. With graphic arts, or graphic artists certainly can. But it's also, see that little, let's see if I can get it to focus. There, see that in between the hands where we have, it looks like a proton, electron, whatever, except for it's missing one of the little circles. But I think that the main message there is that there is divine intelligence within the nucleus of every cell in our bodies. And that is what creates reality. And we get there by being willing to, at least the way I see it, is we get there by being willing to feel all of our feelings, because that's where our creativity lies. And so when this guy comes through reversed, it feels like it could be that we're in a little bit of an emotional reaction. And if we work through it, and then the emotional reaction will just be, like some frozen psychic, soul substance where the life stream isn't flowing through us and our life force isn't flowing through us completely the way it could. It's a place that we need to clear out, because when we work through our emotional reactions, we free up that nucleus, from which life flows and springs forth, actually. So we'll have better timing if we work through these obstacles. We'll be creating and expressing from our inner being. We'll have more ease in our life, and less frustration and less crisis. We won't be creating crisis, which we don't have the Tower card here. So it's but just as a general rule, you'll be living in alignment with the universal spiritual laws, which are love and creativity. We are literally inside that nucleus of every cell. We literally are creators, and that's the thing that we need to remember there. So, but we do have, with the Moon, we do have memories. We have deep soul memories of not having everything go according to plan, or according to our plans. And so sometimes that unconscious material will come up and we'll feel kind of like we're sinking down and we don't know, the right way to go. And that's okay, because to me this card is a card of knowing that your intuitive gifts are unfolding, knowing that your psychic talents are unfolding. However you want to word this, it's that message that you can literally have this creative self-expression right here. I mean, these two cards together. Well, first of all, the Moon is a very, watery card. period. I mean, literally, it rules the moon, which you could say that this card rules over all the cups. That's very possible, because we're in that, we're in that creative soul substance. We're in the waters of humanity, the beautiful, inspiring creativity that can flow through, where something just comes through and you don't know how you got the idea, but it's coming up from within. And so it's one of those days, if you're having a little bit of a hypersensitive day, or you're finding that you're in an emotional reaction, the key is to go into your feeling body, which is your soul. There's no difference between your body and your soul, and to do your soul work, you have to work with your body as well. So again, this might be a day of taking it easy, just kind of chilling out and doing some deep soul work. But this is, good advice for any day, anytime this comes up. Anytime you're feeling oversensitive, or anytime you've gotten some bad news, or any disappointments, and I'm speaking to now, like when the Page of Cups is reversed, these are some of the key meanings. Because all the pages, of course, they often deliver news. So this could be, because it's reversed, it could be bad news about a relationship, and it could have us feeling a little insecure. And it could have us in that place where we have relationships that are kind of fading away from us. And that's painful. But if they're not meant to be with you on a daily basis, or on a weekly, monthly, or on any basis, then it behooves us to just let that go, if that's what the case is. Now, when we combine the Hermit, I love this card. This card's all about finding your light within. It was within you all the time. It's kind of like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. It's like she didn't have to go anywhere. It was always within. But you can see the artwork here, where we have a stairway climbing up a mountain, and it looks as if we need to climb a mountain. But in the traditional Rider-Waite, the guy is standing on the top of a mountain, and looking down, and so this could be that message of just tapping into your own inner light. I think is the main message. And both of these cards here, I mean, they're about, the right way is to go inside, and everything is created from the inside out. All of our soul work is always, an inside job. Now, of course, we can be triggered by the outer world, but then to take self-responsibility and work through it is always, that's our inner work, which is really good. So it's good to not take it too seriously when people are not going within around you, and you have that feeling that there's something wrong with you if you're too inwardly focused, because that's just not the truth at all. The truth is that it's the only way to go. In fact, this card, in the worst sense, can be somebody who has made poor decisions in the past, and they stem from a lack of focus. So if you haven't been focusing on what matters most to you, this is certainly the way to get there. It's through your emotional body. And then from doing that emotional release work, releasing any emotional reactions, which are, emotional reactions will have you, sometimes it's like the fight, flight, or freeze. And other times it is being a little too overly aggressive, like not resting when we need to rest. Sometimes it can have us submitting in relationships when it's not best for us to do that. And other times it can have us going, just disappearing and going into withdrawal. And sometimes you need to do that in order to find out what you're really feeling, because that's part of the problem on the spiritual path, is that we will run into obstacles inside of us and in life, and we won't really know what we're feeling. But to question yourself and let yourself take your time and understand all those feelings, that will be the work. That's the deeper work. And that's where you'll find your focus. And from there, then, you'll be able to turn things around. But you have to have that inwardly, quiet focus in order to do that. Sometimes this card also plays out in feeling lonely. And especially, if you've had a relationship where you haven't been met emotionally, you haven't been met in the heart level, then of course you're going to feel lonely even while you're in relationship. And that's going to kind of throw you back into the past. And that's what's up for healing. But then when we find ourselves, when we find our feelings and work through them, then we have the courage and the strength to speak up and say, hey, something's off here, between us. Can we talk about this? If this is a relationship. So it's either going to be a creative issue or a relationship issue, or a place where you're needing to isolate yourself from a relationship where somebody hasn't been, entirely upfront, or they've been, disappointing in relationship. So sometimes when this card, because we can see, this is a card of the inward direction. So when it comes to reverse, sometimes it can leave us feeling like, or it could be one of those times where we feel like we've kind of lost our way, like we've lost our path, and we're trying to find our path. And then other times it's just downright sadness. So when it comes to relationship, these two cards here can be about, sadness and deception, and they can throw us back into the past. But it's your intuition that will get you through it. It's literally your intuition that will bring everything straight, bring these two cards straight up again. And to help you, light your way on your path. Like I said, it's always that inside job. The moon card can sometimes be, if we leave these cards the way they were, like if we just leave them reversed, and I do a summary, there is a lot of deception here. So, if it's coming from a relationship or somewhere from the outer world, that's okay. As long as we're not deceiving ourselves, we're fine. So not to worry about anything unless we're deceiving ourselves, unless we have some blind spots in relationship, which would only be a blind spot, which would only mirror a blind spot in relationship with ourselves, because we always have to remember that relationships are mirrors. They will always mirror back wherever we are in relationship with ourselves and our relationship with life. So if you have a relationship that's taking up way too much space and is hampering your creativity because they're not being honest, or they're wasting your time, or they've got a little bit of a hidden agenda because they're emotionally immature, and if you keep being thrown back on yourself in order to, try to turn the relationship around, it can just prove to be a vicious circle. Because we have to remember that in relationship, the person who is the most spiritually evolved, or the most, who's had the most personal evolution and who's worked on themselves, they're going to be the ones that's responsible for the relationship. That's just the way it works. So sometimes these cards can be a warning to, to not give over your life force so much to a relationship like that. So if that's what's coming up, then there's there's emotional work that needs to be cleared out, which is, excuse me, I need water. Okay, so I just keep being drawn back to this Hermit reverse because I feel like these cards all together can sum up with the message that if we're afraid to be alone, because this could be the fear of being alone, then we will give ourselves away and be in any relationship that we can be in, or we'll be afraid to give up a relationship where it's not good for us. It's not going to foster our creativity. It's not going to create what we want in relationships. So that can be some of the message too. But again, always look at the wolves in this card as being the I'm drawn back to that every time I see this card, actually. Or even wolves. It reminds me of Carl Jung's quote that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct. I think it's direct your life, and that's what you'll call fate. But once you make, I think I missed a couple words in there, or I screwed it up. But don't worry about it. You can look it up. The main message is that whatever we're unconscious of in our lives, that is what is controlling our lives. So if we have one little piece of soul substance that believes that we don't deserve love, or that if we let go of a bad relationship, we're not going to get another one, all of these false beliefs, you have to make them conscious. But until you do, you're just going to attract people where you're not very... You're not in tune with, and you're not feeling met, basically, bottom line. But as soon as you do that work and question the false belief and turn it all around, then you're more in touch with reality, you're less in illusion, and you'll have more experiences of positive pleasure, which would be like positive relationships. So it's always about working with the unconscious. But also, just to remember, we have a wise unconscious. So there is wisdom in that mystery of not knowing. So it's okay to be in the place where you're not, if you're not knowing what you want to create, but you do have to go within. You can't give up that responsibility to anyone else. That's always an inside job. And if it's about relationship, and if it's not meeting your needs, your real needs, then you have to question why you're in a relationship like that, and why you would stay, or what's truly going on. Or maybe you're finding your way through it. Maybe courage needs to come in order to speak up and say, speak up for your truth, or to, give voice to your real feelings. So I think I'll leave this here for now, with just the limitation of these three cards and not a personal question from anyone, I don't think I can go any deeper. I think this is it. So, okay, you guys, well, take good care, and I'll be back later. All right, bye.